and one is Java applet. Right. So this is also what type of scripting language used in place of JavaScript. Used in place of JavaScript. But here, but this Java applet is not used. This is not widely used. Okay, I'll explain that part. Okay, why it is not widely used. Right. So Java applet is basically used in place of what? JavaScript. Here, by the name only, we can say that it purely uses a Java language. Applet nothing but a small program. Applet nothing but small program in order to achieve a small task. Applet nothing but snippet. Concern the programs code. Right. That is what we said as applet. Applet nothing but a small program in order to achieve a small task in the web browser, in the wherever. Okay, applet nothing but it is not only specific for website. So applet is the meaning of the applet is what? Small code. Small code. Here using the Java applet means we are using what? Small Java program in order to achieve some task, some small task in the website, in the web pages. Right. So as I said, it's a Java program. Right. It's a Java program. And for Java program, to compile that one, all Java program, right, or whichever the language is using the Java, okay, it's a full-fledged programming language. It obviously require what? It should require what? JVM. Java Virtual Machine is required. If we use this Java applet in place of JavaScript, right, so the browser should or the client should install one virtual machine, that is JRE. Here for Java applet, there is no need of JVM. Here we have to, here the client has to download what? He has to install what? JRE, that is Java Runtime, environment. Right? Java Runtime environment. JRE is nothing but Java Runtime environment. Okay, this act as a virtual machine. Right. So now question is what? Now if we use the Adobe Flash, we will use what? Object tag. If we use object tag. And the same way, if we are using the Java applet in the HTML code, we should use there also one tag is required. One element is required to show, right, this snippet or this program is related to Java applet. Right. So there we are going to use the tag called applet tag. Applet followed with a file name. Right. This applet tag will indicate in the HTML code. Right. Here I am writing what? Java applet program. Again, what the browser has to do? The browser again it has to what? Request for the server. I need supporting file. Okay, which is having this applet, program. The same what it is doing for Adobe Flash, the same thing it is going to do. There we are going to use the object and follow the .swf extension. Here you have to use with .class extension. .class extension followed with some name, file name, ABC. Okay, here Java applet nothing but was small program. In order to achieve the small task, small work in the program, we are going to use this applet. So Java applet, by the name we can say that the program or what you're writing, right, which support for web development, you're going to write it what? In the form of Java. So obviously Java is a full-fledged programming language. It requires one compiler to execute. So the user or the client has to execute one compiler, one virtual machine called Java Runtime Environment in his system. When the browser come to know this applet, automatically the browser will send this applet file for this runtime environment outside the browser. Okay, this will execute outside the browser. This will compile. It will compile this particular file outside the browser. After compiling, again that particular result will be used by the browser in order to display the web page. I hope it is clear what Java applet is, right? So Java applet nothing but it uses to write a program, right? That program will help for the web page to display the whatever the JavaScript or Adobe Flash is doing. The same thing is going to do by this Java applet. Okay, but the main disadvantage of this Java applet is that in order to execute that applet code, right? In order to execute that applet code, it requires what? One virtual machine. That virtual machine should be there in the user system. Then only that particular applet will execute and corresponding result will be displayed in that web page. Otherwise, it will not display. Right? If the Java applet is running, means it require that server or the operating system require one virtual machine. That is what the Java runtime. Right? And we can specify that this applet code in our HTML code with the help of tag called applet tag, followed with the file name, right? When the browser come to know that in that HTML code it uses applet code, right? It uses applet file. It will request for the server to send this applet file. Okay, it will send what the server will send at abc.class applet file. It will send to the browser, but the browser it doesn't have the capability to execute, to work on this part in this file. So what it will do, so in that it will send this file outside the browser. It will send to this operating system to compile, right? To compile this part in that client side, on that in that system, this should be there, right? This virtual machine should be there. Okay, it will execute outside the browser. After executing, again the result will send back to this HTML code, I think, to the browser. Then according to that, the browser will display that web page. This is what the Java applet is, right? So I will show that one here in the diagram, right? So here, what is Java applet? An applet, nothing but was small application that performs a small task. Right? Small application is small program that performs a small task. So Java applet written in what? Using Java programming language, and it requires a separate object, right? How to display that one? By using this applet tag, right? This applet tag will be downloaded at the browser side, right? So next, what it will do, this plugin, this program will be downloaded at the browser side, and this applet will be executed where? At the outside the browser, right? Nothing but this Java runtime environment JRE should be there in the client machine. Nothing but at the client side system, this JRE should be there, right? Then to this JRE, this applet will be sent by the browser to execute, right? After that, this will be sent back to the browser to display the particular result. Right? This is what the Java applet is. You can see here in this diagram. First part is what? The user will request for the HTML. The browser will send that HTML code. In that HTML code, if it is having applet, this object is there. This element is created, is there in the HTML. It will check for that class. Okay, if we use the Adobe Flash, you have to use the data here. If we use this applet, you have to use code equal to ab.class. Okay, this has been sent to the browser. Browser will start running on that HTML. When it comes to this part, it will check. Okay, it requests one more supporting file from the web server. So again, it will send the request for the web server that it needs ab.class file. So the server will send that ab.class file, right? So the browser doesn't have that capacity to execute this ab.class. So what it will do, it requests for the plugin. What plugin? So it plugin will be sent with this particular this will send for what? To the JRE, right? So this plugin will send this particular code outside the browser, right? So it will act as a what? Intermediate between this JRE and the browser. What? This is browser plugin, right? This browser plugin, it will take this file, it is sent to the JRE, which is outside the browser. It will execute, then this file will be sent back to this here and sent back to the browser, and the browser will execute that part. Means that executed part will be implicated in that code, and it will display the output for the client to the users. This is how the Java applet will work. What is the disadvantage in the Java applet? This JRE should be there. This JRE should be there in the client machine. This is what the disadvantage of the Java applet when compared to JavaScript and compared to Adobe Flash. And this is regarding what? Java applet.